look into my life and pop culture vibes. Welcome to Amani's Vibe. That's the space that I provide. Yeah, at Amani's Vibe.
Okay, so I'm here to talk about Love Island USA Season 8, Episode 5 and 6, the Coles Notes version, because this month is Brain Injury Awareness Month in Canada, and my brain is tired. Because there's so many new people, the new people that came. So I'm just going to let you know what happened, the short version. However, I am going to still keep doing think pieces, but I just think that it sounds like a tongue twister. I think that the think piece after tonight's episode 7, this is where things are going to change. The other strange thing is I was actually supposed to have surgery today, but I had it postponed for a few weeks. So I wouldn't have been here doing this, at all. So that part. But now let me talk about the show, okay? So the Coles Notes versions are Melanie was calmed down basically by Anaya, who is the soother for the island. Melanie is just up and down and all over the place. She definitely, but you know what, y'all? They're young. They're in their, the guys are older and the girls are in their early 20s. Like Casey is younger too, but Bryce is 29. Sean was 29. That's such an age difference in maturity. So I'm just saying, so can we just remember, first of all, these cats are young. These villagers, villa people, the villa people. Oh, the villa people. That's what we'll call them. So as we know, Corbett came into the villa and disrupted everything, and Melanie done lost her mind. Corbett reminds me of Caleb. I don't know why. From the first time I saw him, he just reminds me of Caleb, and it's not because he's light. There's a quality about him that reminds me of Caleb. Caleb Corprew, was that his name from season 2? Sorry, we're not allowed to say his name, but I'm just saying. And I was like, he's for the streets. He is, I was young and I love basketball. And I definitely liked basketball players, back in the day. And he just reminds me of that. He reminds me of the stereotype of a jock. I actually have no idea if he plays sports or not, if he played basketball. I'm not saying he plays basketball just because he's 6'4", because that can also be a stereotype. But he reminds me of that. And then he's got the voice. Who do you like? You. Yeah, Oh, something just fell. Why do things always fall when I'm in here? Anyway. Corbin, when I say he's for the streets, I just mean that he's on this show just to, be a player from the Himalaya, and it is what it is. As a matter of fact, like, I can understand people watching that show and actually thinking and believing that's why they're there, because that also happens on the show. Did any of you guys see season 5? It was crazy. Okay. Like rabbits, they were. So basically, in episode 5, Corbett is there and Melanie. There's nothing really exciting that happened except for that he's matched up with Melanie. And like, what happened in episode 5? The fact that I don't remember anything about the show, because episode 6 is where it all happened. Episode 5 happened. Oh, I know what happened. They sat around the fireplace, or the fire pit, and they had to vote someone out. And the producers let Corbett know. He got a text that he would be able to choose somebody. He could choose any girl that he wanted, which then takes the power away from the girls having the choice. So I already knew that he was going to pick Kenzie. I just didn't see him picking Kata because she seems really tight with so that show, season 5, that it seems to have been gone from my memory. Sean, Sean just, he looked at the lay of the land and was like, you know what? There's nobody here I can couple up with. I've been hanging with Kenzie and kissing Kenzie. I don't know if she's going to pick me, but I'm also not feeling her because of how immature she was towards Zach. End of. I find the fandom to be very fickle because I feel like they are the fandom that I'm not even on the pages that much. It's literally like they hate somebody one day, they like them the next, the same person they hate. Listen, how did I feel about Sean? Look at what he went through. He really liked Beatriz, and she dumped him instantly. And it's because he has a child, and it's complicated. And as much as I'm glad he was straight up about that, I did see that people, they're really like, they want him to go back. Like, no, he'll be fine. They want him to come back like Bergie. No, he doesn't deserve a Bergie arc. Like, no, but you know what? He's going to be fine. He's going to get work. He's going to get contracts, and he's going to get an agent, because that's what happens now. Even if you're on the show for 5 minutes, everybody on season 7 got work except for Ace, because Ace just felt that he was definitely his own person and didn't need those things, and that's the only reason why. But everybody from season 7 got some sort of an agent or work, even if they're on the show for half a second. So Sean's going to be fine, y'all. And I even said that about Jeremiah. When he was booted off, I did a piece on him. Now everybody doesn't like him because they saw him in Beyond the Villa. And he's always been the same person. Anyway, I still like Jeremiah. But he didn't get to come back, And I'm also still like, these people are young, y'all. Now, I was on my own since 18, so I had to be more mature about some things. And what is this Cortel, Vortex, Virtual? What's this thing y'all talking about? The brains aren't developed till people are 25. They had no talk about that when in the late 80s and the 90s and stuff. Like, is this all new terminology? Whatever. They're all still young. And I just will always say the same thing. Even though I said Corbett is for the streets. To still remember that they're young and that you're just writing anything, and people, they're going to read it. They're going to see it, and it can be hurtful. That's all. And I'm going to say that I would say the same thing. Like Corbett, maybe, maybe he's not for the street. He just seems like a player from the Himalaya, and that's it. Like, he's not really deep. The only thing deep is his voice. But Kenzie that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. You don't have to protect Kenzie. Kenzie's gonna be good. She's fine. She's not as the way I thought she was. She's got it together. She understands. She's comical, and I really like her. I've liked her from day one. I always like people that after I see that people don't like them at all. So my favorites are still kind of the same. Casey. Sincere, I don't know. He was one of my favorites. But I still really like him. But Casey's I've had a soft spot for Casey because he's comical. He always does things wrong. He's quirky. He's always making faces and laughing at the wrong time. He's been doing that from day one. And I just can't ever forget how he stood in front of the plant and nobody was behind the door. And I also cannot forget in the challenge with The Office, how he fell off the chair. So that makes him number one. And quirkiness is like a great feature. What else happened? Beatrice and Melanie. Is that their names? Yeah. They made up, I guess. They're cool. They hugged it out. Beatrice has a strong personality. Melanie has a strange personality. Beatrice, I understand you, Beatrice, maybe. It seems like people don't get her, but I understand you. Number one, I think she was born with a birth defect that affected her limb, okay, her leg. She's on the show with a prosthetic, but she's rocking it. It's amazing. So I love that about her. So she's, and then if you heard her, she always talks about like hanging with her father, the guys. It sounds like that's like a big influence in her life. Okay. I'm a guy's girl too, but I never acted like one of the guys, and I feel like she has that, and I feel like it's I can be wrong, but I feel like some of it is a defense mechanism, and also a way her, what is it, deprecating humor of herself has been something she's had to learn to do so other people don't do it first, and I understand that. Okay, so what I do hope for Beatriz is that she stops really liking Gabrielle. He doesn't care about her. He likes her, but it's surface. He's only one step down from Corbett, okay? But I like that their cultural vibe together when they're talking. Yeah, so I really like that with Gabrielle and Beatriz when they're talking, and she, you know, it's too bad. I understand what she said about Sean too. That's why she's not with him, and that's why Sean is single, y'all, because he has a child that's like 1 or 2. He has a toddler, and he's on the show, and that's a lot for people to think about, especially if they're looking at marriage. It can work because of the type of person he is. And what I really liked about Sean, I'm all over the place, but that's okay. What I really like is he is so much more mature than I thought. And I learned that the first time I saw him really have a one-on-one. It's in one of my think pieces, but, and even the thing with Mackenzie, what makes him uncomfortable, that lets me know he's a good dude. He's cool. So what else happened? Bryce and Trinity, they're cool. Who else is on the show? I literally have no notes right now. And Anaya needs to toughen up a little bit too. I think so. She will. She'll, knowing her background and where, you know, that she's probably, like she said, she was prom queen, all the typical things. The things that she said were typical, I didn't think were typical. Just so you know, she was saying that to KC as like, that's not typical. But she just has to toughen up a bit and also be straightforward with her feelings. Sincere should be confused because Melanie's confusing. Anyway, that's where we're at when Corbett gets the text that he's going to make the first pick. And so the girls were all standing around the fireplace, or the fire pit. Corbin picks first, and he does pick Kenzie. And basically, the 2 men left are Sean and Bryce, and the last person to pick is Trinity. I hope I'm saying her name, because I always want to call her Brittany. Is her name Trinity? Brain stuff. I have no notes. Is it Trinity? Anyway, Trinity, Brittany, I'll correct it if I say it wrong. She chooses Bryce, and I knew she would. The show just makes you think she's going to choose Sean, so Sean had to go, and he was chill. And you know what? Like I said, y'all, don't worry about him. He's going to have so much work, like for single dads after this, and he's going to be a hot commodity, so it's okay. I don't think he'll have to be a cop anymore. I think that he's going to be able to do some modeling, and I'm even going to guess the agency that's going to contact him. I feel like UTA or Gersh, they're going to contact him, okay? You heard it here first. I don't know anything. I literally don't know anything from online. So yeah, so Sean gets eliminated in episode 5, and everybody's crying and stuff, but it was inevitable. So it is what it is. So now episode 6 happened last night. And, okay, this is going to sound so not like clean-cut me, but can I just say something? That big white bed and the pillows and stuff, That's like in a documentary about a certain hip hop artist. There are parties on big beds, white beds with white pillows, and everybody dressed in white. And I couldn't get that image out of my head. And I'm like, okay. I always forget that this show is so raunchy. I don't know why I forget about that element. It's because that's not the element of the show that I'm looking at and that I'm interested in. I'm literally always like, I hope that people actually can find love. So I know that those things happen and I always forget about them. So episode 6 happens, everything's cool. Casey actually really expresses himself to Anaya, lets her know that black is beautiful, that, you know, he knows dark-skinned sisters have a hard time, but he's there for her. He thinks she's beautiful. They're opening up more and more, but they're still just feeling each other out. It's still so new for them. Casey also says that he really hasn't lived. He's not somebody that takes chances. He always kind of stays with the status quo and is safe. And that Anaya has done so much. She's really lived, she's traveled, and that he really wants to do more of that with his life. So it sounds like he also had some real that he's a pretty responsible guy. I did look him up. I always do. So he has done some modeling and stuff. He's done quite a bit of modeling. I still don't know what his back says. So somebody, please tell me in the comments. I have no idea. I keep trying to read it when he turns around, but I'm like, I don't see what it says. Melanie is still back and forth, but talking to Sincere, but I don't know. She's unpredictable, but you always need an unpredictable person for the show. I don't think we should call anybody on this show a 2.0 of anybody that was there before. Nobody on this show, none of their behavior compares to the person who I shall not name from season 7. Because that behavior on the show in season 7, that behavior was abhorrent and abusive and should not have been allowed to continue. But I don't blame the producers because they did try to get rid of that person, and the friends kept voting her in. Like, so let's all remember that, okay? But I believe that everybody learns life lessons in time, so I do hope that that person will learn. But there is nobody on this show that I think compares to that person at all. I think it's so dangerous to just start labeling to do that. Melanie, yeah, she's unhinged. But, you know, I'm telling y'all, she has PMS, okay? I'm trying to tell y'all. Plus, like she said, it's raining men. She doesn't know what to do with herself, and she's just tied down to the one. But she's, you know, she's really wants to have more fun. That's what it is. She really wants to explore, and Sincere does too. They're kind of the same. You know, they're both like a fish. If you have one fish, you have another fish, and both fishes are the same. You don't know what the fish, and you look at one fish and the other fish, but you don't know about the fishes. They're very similar. I told y'all already for them to check their family tree. They are so similar. They're like the same person, the male and female version of the same person. I'm just saying. By the way, I love Sincere's hair. It's beautiful. Okay, who else? What else happened? Before I get to the bed. Everybody's getting along pretty good. Trinity and Bryce are doing good. Melanie and Sincere. Beatriz has insecurities about Gabe. And I didn't clue into this, but that's why she wanted Kenzie to talk to Corbett first, because she knows that Gabe definitely had an interest in Kenzie, and Beatriz is just trying to keep him to herself, but he's not really a good dude. So I do hope somebody else comes there that does like Beatriz, and that she understands she's just beautiful how she is. Like, if I could talk to her, I'd say, you are beautiful in every single way. Anyway, just saying. Beatriz, like, just know your beauty. Know your beauty. You're beautiful. And you're an incredible athlete. Like, it's incredible. And I just love her vibe, her strength on the show. And she's just strong. She is a strong woman, and it is what it is. I don't think she has to apologize for that, but I do think she does. Oh yeah, I was just going to talk for a couple seconds, but you know how it is. I'm in the kitchen. I really chill in here. Anyway, so yeah, I just think that's what I would like. I would like for her, I would like for somebody that really likes her, for her to come on the show. That's what I would like for Beatriz. Who else is on the show? Kenzie. Kenzie's going to be fine. She's with Corbett, Corbett. Is his name Corbett or Corman? I'm going to call, is Corbett? Corbett's kind of morbid. Is his name Corbett? I got no notes, y'all. Corbett and that voice, and he's not deep at all, like I said. Him and Kenzie. But Kenzie's smart. She knows. She's glad that he's tall. He's a tree. He has big hands, all the important assets that we look for in men. Big hands are essential, apparently. And then, there's nobody else that stands out to me that I'm supposed to talk about. Sorry. So then they find out that they're going to have a slumber party, and the guys wear tighty whities and the girls are in lingerie. And they have 3 bombshells that are going to storm this thing, and the girls won't know, and they all have paint. They'll have a different color paint, and they have to crawl all over the white mattress. This is what I'm telling you. When I check out, I'm like, what are these producers thinking while they're like, who? There's no way a woman was like, this is what we want them to do on Love Island. But yes, it is a misogynistic show. And it's probably sad that I watch a misogynistic show, but I think I really do, like, completely check out during these things and just, I'm like, okay, is this over? And then just want to see what happens. So long story short, the men are there. The women are blindfolded. They have to crawl all upon the white mattress and the pillows with their paint, if it's yellow or blue or green, to find their man. They have to feel around and I guess kiss the people to find out, okay? So, long story short, Melanie, it's really easy to tell who Sincere is because Sincere has long hair and it's in a bun. And Melanie did feel the back of people's heads, so she would know. And his hair is going to be soft. And Corbett was at the end, besides Sincere. So with her blindfold, she found Sincere, but decided, nah, I'm gonna just keep kissing Corbett because I can tell that's him because he's tall and I really just wanted to kiss him. So I'm just gonna kiss him and then kiss Sincere and act like I don't know who's who. And all the men can see this. In some ways it was whack, and in another ways it's like, you know what, that's what this show is about. And you know what, if she has to pretend to do what she really wants to do since that guy's been there, then that's what Melanie's gonna do. She's the show. Anyways, the last person, but in between the crawling, the bombshells come out, and I don't remember their names, so I'm just gonna call them Cowboy, Trixie. I'm gonna call the blonde girl Trixie because that's what Bryce named. Somebody named the bunny Trixie. Somebody brought a bunny, and so and the bunny was named Trixie. So I'm gonna say that Cowboy, Trixie, and Pink, because that's what Kev on stage called the other girl. They came out, and so in between, they're also crawling there, and they have paint. Was all their paint red? They had paint that was a different color, and they also had to crawl around. But they were just kissing the people they wanted to. So it seems like Casey is a hot commodity. Corbett is a hot commodity. But I'm just going to focus on Casey being a hot commodity because that's what I noticed out of everything else going on, of them, crawling around. And then Bryce said to Trinity, I'll leave that for after. So Trixie crawled around. Trixie And there's nothing that stood out about all that stuff except for that the cowboy, Trinity seems to really like the cowboy, and Kenzie. This is when, and they were all still blindfolded at this time. And also, there was girl on girl kiss. Who kissed who? Oh yeah, Kata. Kata and Anaya were kind of the safest bed crawlers to get to their mandem. So Kata did find Zach, and Anaya was kind of last, and she found KC. So then Ariana tells the girls to remove their blindfold, and right away Melanie's like, who was red? Who was red? Because she's seeing the red. The red is all over KC, y'all. Like, it's all over him the most. Anyway, so she's like, who was red, when they're saying their colors. And then Ariana lets them know that Trixie, the cowboy, and who did I call? Oh, and Pink, that they were bombshells that were also there crawling around. So they're trying to figure out what happened. Kata seems very turned off with Zach. Zach seems the most distracted and excited by Trixie and Pink. Casey is hilarious, y'all. When Ariana's asking them like how they feel about it, Casey yells out, I feel blessed. And he was blessed because he had red paint all over him. So Anaya just looks, she's completely turned off because there's literally red paint all over him. So I figured that's what they'll argue about tonight on episode 7. But he says, I feel blessed to have Anaya as my partner. He's so cute, you guys. He's so cute. And I don't know what will happen because they're the only people that I see are a couple right now. Out of everybody is nobody and nobody. I do not see any potential strong couples right now. Sorry, y'all. I like people. I like Casey and Anaya, but I still think they're both, they're still figuring it out. They're kind of both cautious and they're friends and they're figuring out their connection, right? Beatriz is a control freak, so, and Gabriel, he's gonna Corbin's for the streets. There's no couple. Like Sincere and Melanie aren't. They're not solid. Trinity and Bryce, I like them, but I don't feel like they're solid either. So I don't see any couple that I think is solid. And we'll find out more tonight. Those are my real thoughts. Zach, I've thought that Kata wasn't really into Zach. Right? I've been saying that, but as I watch Zach, he also doesn't, it's that British Birmingham. He doesn't give a lot of himself. You'll see Kata is kissing him. He's just laying there. He's a bit of a, he's a bit dry like Charlie. It's just a thing. Maybe it's a Birmingham thing, but, yeah, like he likes her, but there's nobody that really likes the other person where it's equal. It's just people that like people more than the other person, or couples that I'm not sure of. So there's nobody I'm sure of. None. Nobody. Who would I like to be together as of right now? Nobody. I don't see anybody with solid enough attributes to try to build on something, and I will see that after tonight because this group hasn't really been tested that much, right? So we'll see what Trixie, Pink, and the cowboy do. And those are my thoughts for Love Island USA Season 8 Episode 5 and 6. Tonight will be a time. Tonight we'll see what happens as a result of the red paint that was all over Casey. And tonight we'll really see the personalities. I saw the first look, but they do a lot of tricks in editing. They do it all the time. So it looks like Casey said she was exactly like his ex-girlfriend, but you know what? Maybe Zach said that. And it looks like Melanie's going to open the door on Sincere and Pink. But you know what? Melanie could be opening the door at a whole other time. Because that's what they do, y'all. Remember that. Remember, the producers and the editing, it's always there to mess with you and make you think something different than what's really going on. So I'm going to continue to watch the show at face value. I'm really looking forward to tonight's show. And that's what's up. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Ooh, Amani's Vibe. Welcome to Amani's Vibe. That's the space that I provide. No negativity, no lies. Here is just positive vibes. Love Island, USA, pop culture, sports, and telling stories in my own way.